What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So, man, it is that time of year again. It sucks when we see the injuries start to wear on these guys. The 250 West is decimated. And seeing Pro Circuit with everybody injured, this is like a normal thing for them now. This is just kind of how they roll. At some point, well, I'll get into why I think that is, but it's more than just bad luck. And I'm going to let you know how the thin field will affect the championship. Is it going to hurt Deegan or help Deegan? Speaking of these injuries, if you have any injuries, I'm telling you, Nano-Extreme, by far the best pain relieving cream I've ever used. It's got some crazy good ingredients. I've given it to multiple people who've used a lot of different stuff. Every one of them says, wow, this stuff's amazing. So do yourself a favor, get some for a family member who struggles with pain. Go to Nano-Extreme, use code Cooksy, and you get free shipping. If you're looking for more content, head over to the Coach Rob podcast. He's got some of the coolest shows over there. He's got them for everything. Coach's latest project is he takes guys after their career and talks about what's next, what to do after the racing stops, after the career stops. He's had Jeremy Martin, Ryan Hughes, Connor Fields. Very good stuff from Coach Rob. So head over to the Coach Rob Podcast Network. So this happens every year. I mean, we get injuries. It's part of this sport. You can't race dirt bikes and do the things they do without having a significant amount of injuries throughout the field. But man, San Diego in this last week has been rough. So let's just say Levi Kitchen, we'll count him as being out on the west. I know he's going east, but there's one. Then Avery Long had that disgusting looking crash in the LCQ. Man, I'm glad he's somewhat okay. He has a severe concussion. I hope he takes the extra time and allows that brain to heal. You come back too soon and then you have another one and it's really bad. So Avery, you were riding great. Please take the time, rest up, get better, and come back strong. And man, I am hurting for his teammate, Talon Hawkins. Talon Hawkins had a nasty crash in the heat race, resulting in a broken femur. Those are not fun. I mean, they can't cast it. It's your femur. That is a big bone. They put a rod through the middle of it. I mean, the recovery time isn't the worst, but it's nasty. Like, that's a big, scary bone to be breaking. And that bone breaks and it can actually hit the femoral artery. So it's just dangerous. I hate seeing big injuries like that. I hate seeing injuries in general, but big injuries like the femur, that's tough to deal with. So get well soon, Talon Hawkins. Ty Masterpool, man, he had that crazy get off in the main where he went long, smashed his head, flew off. Looks like he broke some fingers and he's out. Joe Shimoda's got his fingers from the pit board. And like I said, when I watched the race, I was like, he should be fine, right? Just a couple broken fingers. When I saw what they looked like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he even rode and is actually considering racing again. I think he needs to get that thing fixed. I would hate to see him continue racing and have sort of a complication and have to lose that pinky. And let's be real. Joe Shimoda, even though he won the first round, was still a long shot to win the championship. But I'll get into more about that in a second. Styles Robertson made his return to racing after being out all last year. Cased it in practice at San Diego, jammed his wrist, and he doesn't know where he's at with it. I mean, it's bad. Like, this wrist is causing him some problems. He's going to do some rehab on it. He might be back this weekend. It might be longer. They're not really sure. And the latest one on the injury list was the other Pro Circuit rider, Garrett Marchbanks. I talked about how he looked fatigued to me. I haven't talked to Garrett, so I don't know. I texted him to find out what happened today, what his injury is, and how bad it is, and I haven't heard anything back. So as of right now, I don't know what that is. But man, I hate seeing guys riding in what looks to me like a fatigued state. Your body doesn't handle things as well. You make errors that you wouldn't normally make. Garrett is one of the most talented, hard-working riders I've ever seen. But he's a big guy. That's something that you're born with. He can't undo his size. He is what he is. He starves himself to stay on that 250. I've told him I don't like it. And I think it makes him susceptible to more injuries. And it's tough. I would love to see him just move to the 450. But I've said that way too many times. I just hope Garrett's okay. I really like that kid. And I hate hearing him struggling and then also getting hurt. But speaking of Pro Circuit, this happens to be the thing. Something's going on over there. Is it the culture? Is it the stress? Is it the way they practice? Something is happening on that team that guys are constantly getting hurt. It's 1 year's an anomaly, 2 years maybe, but this continues to happen every single year. It might just be an anomaly. Who knows? But last year, when they hired Ty Masterpool, right before the season because they needed riders because, once again, they were all hurt. That's when the HBI team owner, Matt, hit me up, Matt Bell, and we were talking about it. And he's like, man, I really wish Kawasaki could get me some support so I could be like a feeder team. So he could have guys ready to go to fill in. He could be, say, like a support team for pro circuits. So they'd have all the contracts done, everything's ready to go. And when Mitch loses a guy, they just move one over. Why don't more teams do this? You look at a team like AEO. I know their guys got hurt this weekend, but they could be a perfect feeder for KTM. I know KTM's got a whole bunch of separate issues over there, but like just as an example, you take a team that's really good, that has some up and coming riders, like Mitch Payton didn't have enough equipment to have Drew Adams out there. So you put him on the HBI, secondary team. Let him get his feet wet without any pressure. Let him go out there and learn Supercross. He's ready to go, but you put him out there, and then if something happens, move him right over. That's easy. Then he goes over to the tent with all the pressure. But if he's already been at the races, got the gate drops, it's not as big a deal when you bring him over to the other tent and they handle the pressure a lot better. I don't know why they don't do this, but I'll tell you what, maybe it takes a year like this where everyone's hurt for Mitch and some of the other teams to realize, okay, well, yeah, we're spending so much money hiring these replacements and doing these different things. Why don't we just have Kawasaki give some of that money to a different team, let them put their own money, have their own team, and be a feeder team for theirs? Have like an A team and a B team. And now let's talk about Joe Shimoda. So when I watched him race, I went, a couple broken fingers. Joe's never been known as the most, like the toughest guy out there. Nobody's ever said like, oh yeah, Joe rides through anything. That's never been his reputation. After what he did last Saturday, that has to change. This dude is bulletproof tough. The way his hand looked after that race with his finger being all crooked, I don't understand how they put him out there when it was that bad. I do not know. They should have sat him out. Because honestly, even with that win at Anaheim 1, it's still a long shot for Joe to win this title. I know he doesn't want to hear that, but it is. He's just not, he's going against Hayden, Bomer, these guys that are really good. He can win races, but I don't see Joe being the championship guy. Maybe he might have, but not with broken fingers. Now that his fingers are broken, he did an amazing job salvaging it. But at some point, they're going to have to fix that. And it looks to me, the way that thing was crooked, I don't see how they don't do it without doing some sort of surgery or putting a pin in there. I'm not a doctor, but it didn't look good. Say you trot him back out there at A2 and he does more damage. He runs the risk of hurting himself, hurting somebody else. Just sit him out, get it fixed. It sucks. It's a completely unfortunate accident. But man, it might actually be a good thing for Joe. Because if he were to win this championship, he would only get one more year of eligibility in the 250 class, and he's got to go 450. Does anyone really think Joe's going to be a top 450 guy? I mean, he could. Guys always prove us wrong. But if I would, as a scout looking at it, I say no. I don't think he would be. I think he would be another Shane McElrath, a Colt Nichols, one of these guys he's not good enough to be at the upper echelon of the 450 class. That's what I think anyway. So him having an extra year eligibility in that 250 class, he's going to make more money. Think about this. If only difference between RJ Hampshire and Colt Nichols is Colt won the title 3 years before RJ. Look at how much money RJ has made since then by getting a ride every single year. If you show you can win races and have potential in that 250 class, you seem to always get a ride. Look how many guys have made careers in that 250 class. Maybe that's Joe. Maybe that's what he should do. I mean, look at poor Shane McElrath. This dude makes a ton of money going to World Supercross in the 250 class, going to Australia in the 250 class. Over here in the 450 class, he doesn't really, he's an afterthought. He's a backmarker in the 450 class, which is not to say he's not a great rider. He is a 250 specialist. Had he not been pointed out, if you told me right now he has 250 eligibility, he'd be a factory rider on somebody's team tomorrow. That's how good he is. So he's had multiple years where he's had to chase or be a privateer or be on a team that wasn't so good just because he can't ride a 250 because they pointed him out. Like I say, when I talk about Joe, I don't want to sound like I'm being a dick when I say he probably can't be a great 450 guy, but when he goes to that 450 class, he's going to have to go against Hayden, Jet, Hunter. Like there's some fast guys that he's going to have to beat to be a top 450 guy. Then you're going to have Bomer. I truly believe Bomer is going to be right in the mix with those guys. There's a lot of fast dudes, and I think he'd be better off staying in that 250 class a few more years and at least get a few more factory contracts. But I really don't want to see him go out there and make this finger injury something far more than what it is. I would hate to see him lose the pinky because it's scary. The pinky, like your pinky, your little toe, once you break those, if you do not get circulation, you have to amputate them. is something you kind of have to be careful with. So I would recommend they be careful with that, and I think he should just get that thing fixed. But I'm not a doctor. Check out Ride Strapped, best goggles, glasses, t-shirts, and we're going to be doing a Cooksy Cookout at the Daytona Bike Week. So I'll have details for you coming up pretty soon. That's always fun. Chris and his dad and his buddies, it's a good time. So head over to Ride Strapped, check out their goggles, glasses, and shirts. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. Precision Transport is a family-owned business that takes pride in customer service and getting your stuff there safe. And it's really good pricing. A lot of people have used them. Club MX used them. A lot of other people have. They're good people. Hit up pretransport.com. Wait till you guys see next month. Motobilia is this really cool motocross memorabilia website. You can buy some of the coolest stuff. You can buy bikes. You can buy Dave Thorpe's factory Honda. Those things are for sale. Go to Motobilia and wait till you see what our giveaway for the members is in February. It's going to blow your mind. So with Levi going east, Joe having the fingers, all these other litany of injuries that have happened, this leaves Julian Beaumer. He's leading the series, Jordan Smith, and Hayden Deegan. This is really a 3-rider battle to see who wins this championship, because I don't see Cole Davies. He's a rookie. I mean, who knows? But he hasn't even been on the podium yet, so it's hard to say he's a title threat. I mean, you never know. And the other guy that's kind of within striking distance, Ryder DeFrancisco. But like I said, a guy that's never been on the podium, it's really hard to talk about him as a title threat. What this thinning the field does, it means those 3 guys are probably going to be the top 3 pretty regularly. It's going to be hard for some of these other guys. You'll get a couple guys that'll jump in there. Cole Davies may get in the mix. Ryder will hopefully get a podium. But for the most part, those are the 3 guys. What this means is if Hayden loses any more points, which I'm not sure if he will, if he loses any more points to Beaumer or Smith by making these big mistakes, it is going to be harder to close the gap because there's not enough guys that can get in the middle and take points from either one of them. If Beaumer keeps riding consistent, getting these starts, and Deegan doesn't close this point gap here pretty soon, it's going to get scary for him. But the thing about Hayden Deegan, in his career, every single time he's been under the gun, doubted, under pressure, he seems to come back firing. I don't see why this will be any different. If he has a really bad race at Anaheim, yeah, that's going to put him under the gun even big time. Then he goes from there to the Triple Crown at Glendale. If he loses points at either or both of those rounds, it's going to be a rough break in between while they go east. But if he comes out, wins Anaheim, wins Glendale, totally different ballgame. He's back to the dominant number 1. I still think he's the favorite to win it, as much as I like Juju, and I really think Juju and his family, they're just good people. They're from my area here. I met his dad, super nice guy. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want Julian to win just because I know them, they're from my area. But if I was betting and just being looking at this from a betting aspect, Deegan's your favorite. Deegan's probably still going to win this championship. But let's look at what that does to his career if he doesn't. There's been talk of him going to a 450 in 2026. How do you go to a 450 if you've never won a regional championship? The start of his career, you can compare this pretty closely to Jeremy Martin. Jeremy had 2 outdoor championships. They didn't have SMX at the time, or he probably would have those too. But Jeremy Martin had 2 outdoor national championships. But he won races at Supercross. It's not like he wasn't good at Supercross, but he made mistakes and never won that championship. And he had the big injury. Hayden Deegan's career, if you look at it on paper, it's very similar to Jeremy Martin. So I think he needs to get that Supercross championship before he goes to a 450. So if by chance he doesn't win it this year, I look for him to come back next year, ride 250 again. And if he wins it, I think he goes 450 the outdoors in 2026. If he doesn't, then who knows? But I'll tell you what, I love Deegan and his attitude, his authenticity, the entertainment he brings. The interview, the post-race interview that he did, the fact that he's showing you real emotion, real disappointment. How do you not respect that? I know the haters are like, oh, look at him crying. He's so... No. How do you kick a guy when he's up there admitting that he's struggling? That takes a real a-hole to do that. I love that he shows us he's cocky when he wins and he's humble and disappointed when he lost. Like, that's good. He's not up there making excuses or crying about stuff. He's saying, I need to be better. I don't know how people can't appreciate that. So listen, Hayden Deegan, win, lose, or draw, he is good for this sport. Thank you, members. All of you guys who have signed up for the memberships are entered to win a set of Alias gear. I'll be giving that away next week. Pant, jersey, glove. The guys at Alias will send that out to you, get your sizes, and get you dialed in. And we're also going to send out a bottle of Nano-Xtreme. So 2 members are going to win stuff. So all you got to do is sign up, $2.99 a month. Wait till you see what we have for next month. I'm going to give something away every single month, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do content exclusively for the members, but I'm going to work on that. So anyway, guys, thank you. Oh, and I have been getting kind of shadow banned. So if you've clicked that notification and you're not getting notifications, just click it again, turn it off and on, and they'll fire back up.